So going back to our small business clients, which are numerous, many of them are in the hospitality and restaurant industry. Not all was bad on the legislative front during COVID. One of the good things that came out of it was alcohol beverages to go,
Right.
which I know have been taken off the table now. I know that you had advocated for them as a good way to help support the small businesses that are in and around the city. What other ideas do you have that come to mind that will support growing the bottom line for these small hospitality businesses?
I'm full of ideas, so are you
Give us
ready
a
for it?
couple. Yeah, let's hear them.
So actually, Eric Adams had this idea as well, but it's Sales Tax Free Tuesday.
Okay.
So finding a day of the week that, business is typically a little bit slower, and having a sales tax free day that would help. This would only be for small businesses. That would actually help drive people to those local small businesses. One of the big problems we have, there's over 6,000 rules and regulations that small businesses have. There's about 250, I'm told, permits or licenses around starting a business or keeping your business going. And unfortunately, when you go to navigate that as a small business owner,
It's overwhelming.
it's so overwhelming. You have to hire someone to help you.
Exactly.
They are waiting to penalize you. And it feels that way when you start a business. And that's something that we have to change. If we want to rebuild our local economy in the city of New York, it has to change. It has to be streamlined.
Streamlined, you took the word right out of my mouth. And I think that over legislation, again, there's a purpose for the legislation, there's a
Right.
purpose for the laws, but the purpose should be, it shouldn't overwhelm or it should be subservient to the business actually functioning and making money for the owner and for the community.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And it should be on one system. It could be under small business services, and they should get a notification. This is the next step. This is the next step. The city should be helping these small businesses that are the bedrock of our communities.
Exactly. And it starts with that. And then one of the other issues that we've seen, not just in New York, but across the country, is the labor shortage.
Yeah.
Hospitality, restaurants, they can't find, business operators can't find people to work.
It's true.
What are your thoughts on this?
I think a lot of it has to do with, I'll give myself as an example, a lot of parents are out of the workforce because schools haven't been consistent. Myself as an example.
That's a great point.
Right, so you have, obviously in the restaurant industry, I don't know the stats on how many parents, how many mothers, how many single mothers, but if you have kids at home and there's not a consistent, school time to take their kids to school, that causes some issues in it, and it's a barrier. It's certainly a barrier for working mothers to enter the workforce. I think that's a huge thing. Also, I think what we need at a local level, something I would definitely propose is an app that would actually help connect New Yorkers to jobs that are in New York, as well as training resources and all of that. We can't talk about that without talking about the digital divide. There are still New Yorkers who don't have access to Wi-Fi, and we have to change that. That's something that I believe everyone should have access to Wi-Fi in the world that we live in today. And I want to help transition. If you have a constituent concern, not everyone, especially our elderly population, they're not going to be able to utilize that technology. But we need to streamline, and we need to make sure that those services are available for people.
And I think on a business front, those services, they're great.
Right.
But they should be geared to also help the business owner and operator as well.
Right,
Get
that's
the word
exactly
out,
right.
help market your business.
Right.
So many business owners are losing business to the Amazons of the world.
Exactly.
The city, the public needs to do a better job at helping them fight back.
That's exactly
And
right. That's exactly
unfortunately,
right.
if I own a 1 location or even a 10 location restaurant, I don't have the wherewithal to fight the Seamlesses and the Grubhubs of the world. But if the city joins in as a partner,
Right.
now I do.
Exactly.
And that's super important. I'm very interested in
Yeah.
seeing how that plays out.